All right, guys. So welcome. It's good to be here, and I want to believe that everybody is hearing me as we go live. But okay, so welcome, guys. It's nice to have us here tonight, where we are doing the very first section for the Global Fundraisers Mastermind, right? And it's going to be 30 long days. We're going to be doing this together, right? Just tonight is basically we're going to be just talking about pretty much understanding money at its most basic level. Understanding money as its most basic level, right? Because for many of us, money is more like a mystery, right? It's more like a mystery, right? It's more like a mystery, but it doesn't have to be a mystery. It is something that you deal with every day, and it's most likely one of the things that you're prepared for the first 17 to 16 years of your life, right? You spend about 6 years if you're in Nigeria. You spend about 6 years, right, in primary school, from primary 1 to 3, then from primary 3 to 6, right? About 6 years of your life, right, is spent for education for the purpose of getting a job. The first 6 years is gone. Then you spend another extra 6 years again in secondary school from GS1 to GS3, then from SX1 to SX3. That's 12 years of your life, right? Used in preparation for how to earn money. Then another extra perhaps 6 years. If you do a 6 years course, a 5 years course, right? You do a 4 years course, go for service. If you're in Nigeria, go for your NYC service, and you return back to base another 1 year. That is, if you did a 4 years course, what you have is plus NYC, that is 5 years. If you did a 5 years course like engineering, right, or medicine or law, right, another extra or 1 year for service. That is a total of 6 years of your life. Again, added plus the 12 you had before, right? So you had first 6 years primary school, second 6 years secondary school, another extra 6 years, right, for university or polytechnic, getting all the degrees and all that. So you observe that a total of about 17 to 18 years of your life, right, is spent preparing you to earn a living. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, in spite of all the time that they spent in preparing, right, individuals or preparing adults for to perhaps qualify to start earning a living, right, you will discover that a lot of people still don't understand what money is, or at the most basic level. At the most basic level, they don't yet understand what money really is. Right. So in this first series of this the Global Fundraisers Mastermind, right? And I'm going to be teaching all throughout this month of July. I'm going to be sharing with you 30 strategies, both ancient strategies and modern strategies, right, for strategic fundraising that can help you to raise between $100 to $1,000, right? And for the sake of emphasis and for the sake of clarity, right, let me say this: each of the 30 strategies I'm going to be sharing with you all throughout this month of July, each of them has been designed in such a way that it is able to help you raise between $100 to $1,000, each of them, right? Which means that if you know what you're doing and you're able to leverage the power of all 30, right, you could get up to something like $30,000. That is, if you know what you're doing. Now, this may not happen in It may not happen in the 3 months or the 90 days that we are giving you to raise between $100 to $1,000, right? But I can guarantee you that if you know what you're doing, if you pick each of these 30 strategies and begin to apply each of them, right, you are going to get most definitely definite results that are absolutely life changing. That's I can guarantee you. Now, what I'm going to be teaching for the next 30 days, right, is the basic, because there is a premium version that covers the practicals of everything that you need to know, right? So I'm saying this upfront so that you know what you are signing up for, because I'm going to just share at the most basic level each of the strategies so that you understand what it's about. Then when you pay for the strategies, all 30, or just pick, if it is only one you can afford, pick that one, right, and pay for it. When you pay for it, you begin to apply, and you're going to be coming into a community where you're going to be engaging. You will see people who are using each of the 30 strategies to get different kinds of results. You will see people raising 100k, 200k, 300k, 500k, 1 million naira, right, using each of the strategies. So that's why I will encourage you, even though each for the purpose of affordability, right, we've made it affordable for everyone, that each of the strategy is going to cost you 1,000 naira, right? Which means that if you want to get all 30 strategies, that is 30k. But we've said that if you are able to buy, if you're able to want to get access to all the 30 strategies and their practicals and all that, right, if you can afford to pay 5,000 between now and the end of July, right, you will be able to have access to all 30 strategies so that you are able to practice with all of them and know the one that works for you as an individual, right? Now, for the sake of those who are just joining us and for those who are going to watch the replay of this class, right, my name is Dan Arubasa, and I know many of us joined me from Facebook to this place, and I am a life after school coach. When I say I'm a life after coach, what I mean is that over the last 10 years of my life, I've spent it training, coaching, and providing leadership for graduates who are leaving school, who don't know what to do with their life, especially in terms of wealth creation, in terms of strategic positioning for jobs and visibility, in terms of being available in the value market, right? Because there is a difference between having the knowledge that you were trained with in school, right? So you are an engineer, you are a doctor, you are a lawyer, and all that, right? Having the knowledge that you were trained for in school and knowing how to make a living with or without your certificate. Very important. There is something that is called how to make a living with or without a regular job, or with or without a 9-to-5 job. There is nothing wrong with a 9-to-5 job, right? But if you are laid off today, for the job, right, what will be the fate of your lifestyle? Will you be able to sustain your family in terms of provision? Will you be able to take care of every of your needs, as it were, because you've been laid off of perhaps your only source of income? You get what I'm saying? But then it is possible for you to actually earn a living with or without a regular job, and it is one skill that you should strive to master as an individual, right? So without wasting so much of your time, right, we're going to look at how to earn a living with or without a regular job later on, perhaps in the closing or maybe tomorrow. But then tonight we are looking at understanding money at its most basic level, because if you know how to turn 50k to 100k, right, turning 100k to 500k will become easier, because as you make progress, you're going to be learning along the way. And if you know how to turn 100K to 500K, then turning 500K to 1 million naira, right, becomes even much more easier. Like many of my mentors say, that the hardest part of doing everything, the hardest part of making millions, right, monthly or yearly, is the part to making the first 1 million. Is the part to making the first 1 million. So if you know how to turn 50K to 100K, turning 100K to 500K becomes easier. And because you've known how to turn 50K to 100K, then 100K to 500K, it becomes even much more easier, right? Turning 500K to 1 million naira. Now, it's a major challenge with a lot of people who may be watching this Facebook, YouTube live right now. Could be that you don't even know how to turn 20,000 out to 50K. You don't know how to turn 50K, right, to 100K. You don't know how to turn 100K to 500K. You don't know how to turn 500K to millionaire. So that is because perhaps many of us don't understand the concept of money as its most basic level. So on this day one, on this 30 days journey together, we are going to look at understanding money at its most basic level. Understanding money at its most basic level. Now, I'm going to share this with you just for foundation, right? First of all, about 5-7 years ago, right? That was the time we were talking about the like of MMM, the like of twin cars, the like of ultimate C-class, right? That is the time of when you, if you're old enough, you know the time we are talking about internet scams and the rest of them, or Ponzi scheme, as it was rampant then. Now, all through this period, before then, right, I had a lot of knowledge about wealth creation, right? I had money here and there and all that. But what I want to tell you is, when those things were happening, my wife and I, we lost a whooping sum of 16 million. Not 60 million, but 16 million. 16 million. That was how much we lost, my wife and I. Now, when we lost this money to all kinds of Ponzi schemes, when we lost this money, it was painful, of course, but I took my time and I began to sincerely ask myself a question. I said, do I really understand this concept of money or the concept of wealth creation? Because I know I have a lot of knowledge around it. But I sincerely began to ask myself, Dan, are you sure you really understand this thing? Because if you really did, right? If I really did, how am I losing 16 million to scams? So what I did was that between 2014, 2015, 2016, mainly 2016, 17, 18, right? 19, 20, 21, right? I took my time. I took a break from everything investment. Everything investment. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter how long you talk. If you like, talk from now till tomorrow. I will give you I will not give you 20,000 in the name of investment. So I went back to the drawing board. I began to scrutinize my knowledge of finances. And for that 5 years plus, right? 2016, 2022, right? 5 to 6 years plus, I spent doing research, doing appraisal of my knowledge. And when I was done, I came out with two conclusions. Most of my students, perhaps, who are here, may have heard me say this over and over and over again, right? I came out with two conclusions. I'm not going to try to give you textbook definition of what money is, right? I'm going to use my personal story and share with you so that you're able to know at the most basic level what money is. So at the end of these 5 years or 6 years, I came up with two conclusions or two wisdoms or two nuggets that began to guide me as an individual. Number one of them is this: that there is no amount of money that I need right now. If it is 100 million, if it is 20 million, if it is 500k, if it is 100k, if it is 200k that I don't have, or 1 million that I don't have that I need, or 5 million that I don't have that I need, it is available right now on this earth. It is in somebody's account. It is in somebody's pocket. It is in somebody's investment. It's in somebody's drawer. It is in somebody's basement, maybe hidden or somehow. In all the currencies of the world, there is no amount of money that I need. There is no amount of money that you need that is not available right now on this earth. The only challenge is that you don't have it, but somebody does. So you need 500k is with someone or several people. You need $1 million, it is with someone or several people. You need 20 million, it is with someone, somebody's account, somebody's drawer, somebody's pocket, somebody's basement, somebody's wardrobe. The money is available. So there is money available to every one of us. The only challenge is that you don't perhaps have enough of what you need. That was the first thing that I discovered. That I don't necessarily have to kill myself, right? To probably try to scam someone or to do whatever. But I know that the money that I need is available. That's the first thing that I discovered. And the first conclusion that I came with. The number two conclusion that I came with, that to get this money from that is available with people, to get it out from their pocket, from their accounts, from their drawers, from anywhere that they have it stored on this earth, whether in pounds, whether in dollars, whether in Chinese yen and the rest of them, right? Nigerian naira and the rest of them. Whatever value it is being contained in right now, there are ways I can get it out of them. And one of them is by identifying a problem that people have. Identifying a problem that people have. And when I identify that problem, I have to also research to know whether or not that problem that they have, is this something that they will be willing to pay for to solve. There are people that have problem, but they are not ready to pay money to solve the problem. Do you understand? Right? There are people that have problems, but they are not ready to pay for the solution to that problem. So it is one thing to have problems, it's another thing to want to pay to solve the problem. I hope you are following. So number one is that any amount of money I'm looking for is available right now with someone. That has been established. Number two, there are things I can do to get the money that I need from people's pockets. Right? And one of them I've said is that I will have to discover or research the problem that people have. It is called target market. You look at certain kind of people, for instance, maybe let's say teachers in Nigeria. All teachers in Nigeria. Can you find a problem that they have that you can help them solve? And not just a problem, but a problem that they are ready to pay for. Another example are perhaps Livestock farmers. I'm using that because if you watch my Facebook page, one of what we talk about there is businesses built around livestock farming. There are pig farmers, catfish farmers, turkey farmers, and the poultry farmers, and the rest of them. Right? You could pick all of them, or you could pick poultry, or you could pick pig farmers, right? And study their business and look at them, their operations, and you are asking yourself, what problem do they have that they might most likely be ready to pay for? What kind of problem could they possibly have that they are ready to pay for? When you find that problem, what you do is to find a solution to that problem. You understand? So it's basically that there is money available and there is how to get it out. One of them is finding people's problem, creating a solution to that problem that they are ready to pay for, and offer that solution to them, right? And they give you their money in exchange to experience that solution. That's what we call business. That's what we call value exchange. Number two, also, that you can get money out of people, right, is by stealing or robbing with a gun. So, for instance, a team of robbers knows that there is money in the bank. So they plan, they put things together, and they hit the bank, right? And they have access to that money for spending. So what that tells us is that there are both ethical and unethical ways to get access to people's money. But most importantly is that any amount of money you are looking for right now on this earth, whether to start a business or to solve a problem or to do something, right? It is available on the earth right now. So I've mentioned two things that it can get to you, right? Number one, you find people's problem, create a solution, you solve them. Number two, you get it out of criminality, either crime, robbing, 419, scam, and all that. You can get money from people like that. Number two is by appealing to people's conscience. That is, as you see, GoFundMe accounts. Somebody is sick, somebody wants to travel, right? Somebody creates a campaign for that person, and the other time, VDN wanted to start an NGO, and you see how the money came out of concern for people. This is VDN, you want to do this, I want to do that. I think what he raised was about 200 something million. Don Jazzy alone gave him 100 million. Right? So, three processes to get money out of people. Number one, find their problem, create a solution to those problems. Number two, you can rob, you can steal, you can do all kinds of crime. But of course, you know the consequences of that. Number three is out of pity. Get people to have pity on you, get people to show concern, get people to show love, whether fake or real. And that's you travel, you see people who are on the paths, right? Maybe out of fear, they submit to the pressure of letting go of their money out of fear. They are afraid maybe the robber might shoot or somebody might be killed. That's crime. Number three reason why people let go of their money is out of pity, right? Out of pity, out of concern, out of love, and the rest of them. That is the three ways through which money lead people and come to you, right? Now imagine this. Imagine that you are able to combine all three. That is problem, solution, fear. This time, not fear, a more expensive. Let's assume you wanted to buy a phone. The same phone, the same capacity, the same company. You saw it somewhere for 600k. Or you saw it somewhere for 300k. You saw it somewhere for 150k. Somebody want to resell his or her phone for even a lesser amount that you saw it for. So you do everything you can to do what? To pay for that, so that you can secure the phone. The fear of losing out. And number 3, love and concern. So imagine that you're combining all of these 3 things together, and you are learning it around a product that is targeted at the target market to solve a particular problem. It is always going to put money in your bank on a daily basis, right? So, with what I've said, what can money be said to be at the most basic level? What can money be said to represent or to be at the most basic level? Don't forget what I started with. I said I did a research for 5 to 6 years, and I came out with 2 conclusions. First of them is that there is no amount of money I'm looking for right now on the face of this earth that is not available to me. There is no amount of money that I'm looking for right now on the face of this earth that is not available somewhere with someone, right? Or somewhere. It is always available. So in trying to understand money at its most basic level, bring us to the second conclusion, or the second of my discovery that I'll be talking about. And that is the fact that money is not just available with someone or somewhere, but the fact that money is not necessarily in a product or in a service. Money is not in a business. Money is not in a service that you are offering. At the most basic level, money is with people. Money is with people. At the most basic level, money is with people. So if you create a service without someone ready to pay for it, money cannot come. So the money doesn't come from the service itself. It doesn't come from the product itself. The money comes from who? From people. What all this actually summarized to mean is that money is not in product and services. Money is not in systems, management systems. Rather, money is with and in people. And why this is important is that it gives you an understanding of what we call customer relation, or the power of human relationships. Because if all the money that you are looking for right now is available on the earth, whether in US or in London or California or Jamaica or whatever it may be, if all the money you are looking for right now is available with someone somewhere, it means that you cannot really say that you understand money until you understand the place of human relationship. Until you understand the place of what? Human relationship. Now, that is why people who try to blackmail, people who take money from their friends that can't return it, people who create fake products, or people who work in a system and try to sabotage the system because they want to make money, are people who do not understand what money is. Because you can't have money without people. Do you understand what I'm saying? When it comes to wealth creation, or when it comes to understanding money as its most basic level. One of the things you must understand is the place of human relationship. The place of what? Human relationship. That is why you see businesses, right? From MTN to Airtel to just mention any business at all, any established business that you know, restaurants and the rest of them. They have what we call customer service. Customer service. Customer service is basically designed to sustain the most basic level of what money is. Because the company knows that no matter how big they are, the sustenance of their business is going to be a function of the relationship and the quality of engagement that they are having with their customer base. Because you create a product, it can't buy itself. You create a product, it can't sell itself. The money is going to come from that product or that service getting to satisfy someone, and the person with readiness to experience the service or the product will do what? We part with their hard-earned money at the end of the day. So when you understand this, that every money that you need right now is available on the earth and they are with people, it means that until you understand the place of human relationship, you really don't understand what money is. You really don't understand what money is. If there is one thing that you want to chase, if there is one thing that you really want to pay attention to as an individual, it's not to chase money, but to chase people. Not to chase money, but to chase people. Chasing people in terms of solving their problem, whether in kind or in cash. So somebody have a problem, or you have friends, right, that you have right now. How many of your friends do you genuinely know their problem? Before belong to a church, to church, because we are Christians. So we don't belong to some mosque because we are Muslims. How many people within that mosque or within that church, or you work in an environment, you work somewhere in an office, right? How many people do you call your friends in that church, in that mosque, or in that workplace, whose problem you really care about? Whose problem you really care about? That you care about these people's problems so much that they know that you care about them. That is how you invest in building what I would like to call a solid economic circle of influence. You might have heard this before, but I will say it again, right? That each of us, Dan Arubasa, is watching me right now, right? You are as strong, economically speaking, in terms of your economic strength. You are as strong only to the economic strength of your 5 closest friends. You are only as strong economically. You are only as strong economically to the economic strength of your 5 closest friends. For instance, if you needed to raise 100K in 24 hours at your level right now, maybe you are in a crossroad, you are stranded somewhere, but you have access to your phone, and you needed to raise 100K. And it's important that you raise this money. Very, very important that you raise. Very, very important that you raise this money. The question I'm asking is, or the question I want to ask you is, among 5 of your friends, people that you call your friends right now, How long will it take them maybe to send you that money collectively as a team to rescue you or to take care of that problem? Let's break it up a little bit. Let's assume you saw a plot of land you want to buy. The land ordinarily is supposed to sell for, let's say, 5 million, but it was a distress sales. They need the money in 24 hours. They are not about to wait for anybody to come tomorrow. They need the money urgently. So a land that is worth 5 million is now being offered for just 2 million naira. You come to that opportunity to buy that land, genuine landed property. The strength of your economic circle of influence will determine whether or not you will buy that land. Because it will be a function of the economic strength of your circle of influence. If you call all 5 of your friends, can they raise you 3 million to buy that property in 24 hours? You see the strength of human relationship, right? The same thing applies to businesses. There's what we call economic resourcefulness. That's a major problem right now across Nigeria, but I won't go into that, right? I'll be telling I'm not the government, but I won't go into that. But look at this. Look at this. Economic resourcefulness means that just the same way you look at your friends, you are not selling anything to them, but you want them to partner with you, or you want them to partner with you, or to give you the money to buy the land, right? The same way, can you create a product? If you needed to raise 1 million in, let's say, 30 days, or 500k in 30 days, are you economically resourceful enough to know that 500k, 1 million is in somebody's bank account? It's in somebody's pocket. First, you could call 5 of your friends and they fail to come through, as it were, or they come through and you want to give them the money in 30 days. Are you economically resourceful enough to research a human problem that people will be ready to pay for and offer that problem to these people who have the problem, place a price tag on it, and it takes to have 1 million naira? Now, it is all these things, right? We are going to pick each of the strategies, what we are calling the Global Fundraisers Mastermind, right? For the next 30 days, we've done today, tomorrow again, we'll go again, right? So from tomorrow, we will pick one of the strategies and I will show you how to use it to, first of all, raise 50k to 100k to 500k to 1 million. I will show you practically tomorrow. Then the next day, right, I will pick another strategy. We are looking at 30 strategies, both ancient and modern, that you can engage and be able to raise at least between $100 to $1,000 in the next 30 to 90 days. That's 3 months. I just explained in today's section, I just explained the basic of what money is at the most basic level. Money is what you get for solving people's problem. Ethically speaking, money is a reward for problem solving. That is why your boss, if you have a job right now, you are not being paid because you are coming to work every day. Why? Because you were not hired in the first place because you were looking for people to dash money to. No. The reason why you were hired in the first place because there was a problem within the organization, within that business, right? But they needed someone to be trained to come and handle. That was where you were employed. So you were not employed because you are coming to work every day. You were employed, and you are expected to be paid at the end of the 30 days that you work. If you are living in Nigeria, right? Because there was a problem that there is a problem that you have been hired to solve. So you're going to be giving money in exchange for doing what? For consistently solving that problem. So at the most basic level, money is what you get for solving people's problem. That is why a majority of all the 30 strategies we're going to be looking at for the next 30 days has to do with solving people's problem. How to research people's problem, how to design solutions to those problems, how to offer those solutions to the people and get money out of them. That's pretty much it. Nothing strange, nothing abstract. Nothing strange, nothing abstract. Nothing strange, nothing abstract. So if you thought that money is one abstract thing or one strange thing like that look as it's so hard to get, right? You're missing the point. Money is at the most basic level what you get for solving problems. So you have people who have problems. You design a solution to that problem. You offer them a solution to the problem. They give you money in exchange. Where systems comes in and management come in, because the volume of how much money you can attract for the people, right, will be a function of your systems that you are put in place. But at the most basic level, money is what you get as a reward for solving problem. The challenge with today's our education system today. The challenge of the education system today is that many people are studying and spending 6 years, 4 years, 5 years in school acquiring knowledge that is not designed to solve any problem. That is why you end up unemployed today. The reason people end up unemployed after 4 years, after 5 years, after 6 years in school is because most of the courses that we read were not designed in such a way that when you are coming out, you become a strategic problem solver. A strategic problem solver that is focused on solving a particular problem and getting paid in the process. But just to digress, right, as a life after school coach, just to digress a little bit, if you want to really maximize our current school system, one of the things that you must do if you're a student watching this is to be able to look at your course. Look at the course you're studying right now. Maybe biochemistry, maybe biology, maybe agri-economics, maybe agriculture. Take a holistic view of the entire course and begin to look at perhaps practical solutions or practical knowledge that solve specific problem in the marketplace today. And from 100 level to final year, what should be focused on outside of just passing your exams is to look for how can you harness this knowledge and be able to solve that problem for people. You will come out of school, you will not be unemployed. I can guarantee you that. And if right now you are unemployed, you are struggling financially, you're looking for a way probably to get a job and all that. For me, in my opinion, right, the easiest things to get for anyone to get is a job. The easiest thing for anyone to get is a job. I know the jobs are not there, right? I'm aware of that. But I'm telling you that if I need to change a job today, I know what to do. And I've said this several times. Not only have I saying it, I practiced it over time. Several times people have walked into my office with their CV, application letter. They bring it to my office. I look at it and tell them, you know what, there's no vacancy in here. But we are going to do this. I will take the CV from them. I will look at what we can work on or edit and work on that, right? Then within my environment, within my city, right, I will pick certain businesses and I will ask them to study those businesses for problem that they have. They can go online. I begin to do research about that business for the next 1 week, 7 days. They will report back to me that I find this, I find that. Now, I said, find a solution to that problem. Be able to show that with this problem solved, either that the company is saving money or they will help them to make more money. When they do that, they come up with another set of application to that same company they have researched, and they submit the application, right? Most times they get a job within the first 7 days. Within the first 7 days, they've gotten a job. If I had a lady who got, when she left my office, within 4 days, as she followed my question and my guideline, she got a first job in a hotel. Then she worked there for 3 weeks. She said she doesn't like that place. Using the same method, she went to another place to get another job. I think in a bakery also. I can't remember perfectly right now. The point is, if there is something that you have to understand about money, something you have to understand about money is to understand money at its most basic level. It is what you get in exchange for solving problem. Money is what you get in exchange for solving problem. The more problem you solve, the more money you make. The more problem you solve, the more money you make. And the more you optimize the systems that solve this problem, the more money you make. That is pretty much what money is at the most basic level. That is why if you're thinking or you are hoping that you're going to be wealthy tomorrow because you are now 50 years old, or because you are now 60 years old, or because you are now 45 years old, or because you are now 30 years old. I'm sure you know people who are old at 60, 75, 50, 55, and the rest of them who are still broke. That is because age does not confine financial wisdom. Age does not give access to financial abundance. Age does not provide the basic understanding of what money is. If there is something that you want to figure out for the next 5 years of your life, for the next 2 years of your life, for the next 3 years of your life, for the next 10 years of your life, is being able to understand the concept of the fact that money is a reward that you have for solving problems. So what you want to do is to find people's problem that you want to consistently solve. That you want to consistently solve. Like, for instance, I've taught this before somewhere, and I was telling them that if I work in a system as an employee, at times company will wake up and said they want to lay off some people, maybe they want to just bench some people they want to keep them out of the job and all that. And I keep telling people, and I teach this a lot of the time, I am not one of those staff that they can lay off. I'm not. I'm not one of those staff. I'm not a staff that can be laid off. I'm not. I can't be laid off. Not because I have sham, not because I have people, not because I have whatever, no. But I can't be laid off for two things. One, wherever I am working, I make sure that I am a valuable member of the team. That's one. Number two, I am consistently looking for problem that is either making us waste money or helping us to make more money. I'm looking for these things, these two things. That's number one thing. I can't be laid off because one, I make sure that I'm a valuable part of the team, a valuable part of the team. Issue will come up, yes, but one thing that people cannot deny is the fact that Dan is a resourceful person. It's a resourceful part of this thing. That's number one. And number two, I am looking for problem to solve. I do my job, then I go an extra mile to look for problem that exists within the system. Problem that do two things, either making us to waste money, or problems that can help, that we can solve, and they will help us to make more money. And number three, why I can't be laid off is because I know how to network with people. For instance, when I'm talking about this problem now, I'm not going to jump hierarchy. I'm not going to jump leadership and go and meet the MD or meet the CEO or president. No. Unless I am directly reporting to the CEO. If not, I will find my manager, I will find my supervisor, and be able to share what I found as a problem and how it can be fixed. Now, he may not do what? Tell the boss that I was the one that gave him the idea for the problem, the solution to the problem. He may not tell the MD. But over time, as your head, as your supervisor, he will never be the one that will recommend you for a sack. Because he knows you're not just valuable to your company, you are also valuable to him. So imagine if you have no supervisor and you are not the manager of the place, or you've not somebody that's losing their job before. Anybody can lose his job. But when you make yourself a valuable member of the team, looking for ways to help your company to make more money, or help your company to block wastage, right? It will be a hard decision to, unless the company is folding up. That's perhaps the only reason why you will be laid off. So that brings us to the end of today's class, the introductory class. We are talking about understanding money at its most basic level. Understanding money at its most basic level. Tomorrow, we will start properly picking each of those strategies, each of them, and showing you how you can engage each of them to begin to do what? To raise between $100 to $1,000 every day for all the 30 days in the month of July. And I've said this before, what I'm going to be doing on YouTube here is basically showing you the front end of each of the strategy. I'm going to be showing you the front end of each of the strategy. Then in the premium version, which is the paid version, I'm going to be showing you the practical of what I showed you at the front end, how you can actually take advantage of it, begin to implement certain kinds of results, and do what? Be able to raise the money that you seek. And I've said at the beginning before, I will also say it in closing, right? Each of these strategies for affordability is going to be selling only for the month of July for 1,000 naira. Each of these strategies, each of them is able to help you to raise between $1,000, between $100 to $1,000, guaranteed, right? Each of them will sell for how much? 1,000 naira, which means if you want to buy all 30 of them, it is 30,000, right? Now, if you want to have access to all 30, between now and the end of July, right, you can pay 5,000 naira instead of 30K. You can pay just 5,000 naira instead of 30K to have access to all 30 strategies, ancient and modern strategies that can help you to raise between $100 to what? To $1,000. By the end of July, when July comes to an end, right, each of those strategies is going to be selling for 5,000 naira each. for 5,000 naira each. Each of them going to sell for 5,000 naira each, right? Which means if you want to have access to all 30, it is 150,000 naira. If not, you can just pick one of them, pay for one of them 5,000 naira, pay for one of them, then use that one to raise between $100 to $1,000. So that's pretty much it, right? Now, for those who will pay their 1,000 naira, that will pay for the first strategy. You will pay for the first strategy for just 1,000 naira. One strategy that can help you to raise between $100 to $1,000 in 30 to 60 days. If you are able to pay for the first strategy, when we look at it tomorrow and you pay for it, or you pay for it within this week, just 1,000 naira to pay for that one strategy, I will give you access to a bonus that is called 30 practical businesses that you can start with the money that you raise. 30 practical profitable businesses that you can start with the funding that you're going to be raising between $100 to $1,000. What can you use this money for? I will give you a bonus of 30 businesses that you can start with this money and grow it into profitability. So that's pretty much it. We bring us to the close of this first day of introduction, right? So at this junction, I would like to take questions. If you have questions you would like to ask, please drop them in the comment section. I will go through them. Then we call it a night, right? Right. Is there anyone who wants to ask a question? You are online. You've been here from the beginning to now. And for those also who will be watching the replay, right, of this video, will be watching this replay, just be free to ask all your questions, please. Be free to ask all your questions. I'm going to be attending to them when I come back online from tomorrow. Any questions so far? All right, guys, in the absence of any question whatsoever, we are going to bring this class to a close. We're going to bring this class to a close. Or is there a question you would like to ask? Are there questions you would like to ask? I'm still waiting, maybe a few seconds, then we call it a day. Maybe a few seconds, and we call it a day. All right, guys, so that pretty much be it, as we call it a day tonight. Thank you so much.